I was driving through the Saskatchewan prairies looking for an old ghost town called Burdett Crossing, a place I had read about in a forgotten blog post. A dot on the map, supposedly home to one of the last intact grain elevators from the 1940s. But about 20 minutes before I reached where my GPS said it should be, the signal just died. No warning, no bars, just a blank screen. And what I found instead of that grain elevator still keeps me awake at night. The drive out there had been hypnotic. Nothing but golden wheat fields for miles. The horizon so flat it felt like the sky was pressing down on me. It was early evening, maybe 6:30, that hour where the light turns syrupy and long shadows stretch like they're trying to grab your tires. The plan was simple. Reach the ghost town, grab a few drone shots of the elevator, maybe poke around the general store, and be back in Weyburn by dark. But Saskatchewan roads have a way of playing tricks on you. About halfway there, my GPS flickered, glitched, and froze completely. I glanced at my phone. No service. Not even a flicker of LTE. I figured he'd come back, so I kept driving. The asphalt gave way to gravel, then to something that wasn't really either. I came to a fork. One road looked familiar, the other veered off toward what looked like open prairie. I should have turned back, but curiosity's got a nasty habit of sounding like confidence when you're alone. So I kept going.
The farther I went, the rougher it got. Weeds pushed through the gravel, tire ruts filled with muddy rainwater, and the air had that strange, dry stillness you only get when you're 100 kilometers from anywhere. I passed an old wooden sign, half-rotted and unreadable. Then another, this one metal, with faded letters I could barely make out. Provincial property, no trespassing. But there was something odd about it. The font wasn't modern. It was that Cold War-era institutional typeface, all block letters and authority. The road began to dip, winding between overgrown poplars. I hadn't seen another car in over 2 hours. My fuel gauge hovered just under a quarter tank. That's when I noticed the gates. 2 rusted iron pillars flanked the road, their hinges long gone, the remnants of a sign arching over them. I stopped the car, stepped out, and brushed away a layer of moss. The letters, just barely legible, read, Weyburn Mental Hospital, Department of Health and Welfare. My stomach dropped. I knew that name. Everyone in Saskatchewan does. Weyburn wasn't just another asylum, it was the asylum. Opened in 1921, closed in the early 1990s, infamous for overcrowding, experimental treatments, and the LSD therapy trials in the 50s that people still whisper about. And somehow, my ghost town adventure had brought me right to its doorstep. The main building rose up out of the prairie like a red brick monolith, massive and completely out of place. No lights, no sound, just the low hiss of the wind through the broken windows. I parked outside what must have been the main entrance. The double doors were boarded, but one side was pried open just enough to slip through. My flashlight beam cut across flaking paint and long, echoing corridors. The smell hit first, mold, rust, and something chemical. On the wall by the reception desk, a sun-bleached sign still read, Department of Psychiatry, Ward A. I filmed everything. Old wheelchairs, tipped filing cabinets, faded murals of therapeutic gardens. At one point, I found a stack of patient files scattered across the floor. The top one read, Admitted, 1957. Treatment, insulin shock therapy. The deeper I went, the stranger it got. Entire sections were sealed off with chain-link fencing. Behind one, rows of narrow doors, isolation rooms, each with a single observation window. Some still had restraints bolted to the floor. And the sound. A low humming, faint, like machinery far underground. I killed my flashlight. The hum didn't stop. It pulsed, rhythmic, alive. I stood there frozen, trying to rationalize it. Maybe a generator from a nearby farm. But this place was dead, miles from the nearest town. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Not echoes, not mine. Slow, deliberate, measured, somewhere down the hall. I whispered, "Hello?" The sound stopped. Then, faintly, came a single reply. A cough. I don't remember deciding to leave. My body just took over. I turned and bolted, my flashlight jittering wildly. Every hallway looked the same, each doorway a black hole. My boots slapped concrete, breath coming in ragged gasps. I finally saw the pale light of the entrance and sprinted for it, burst through into the cold prairie air. Outside, the sun had dipped below the horizon. The sky was purple-black. I looked back once, just once, and saw something move behind a window on the 3rd floor. Just a silhouette, standing still, watching. I tore down that gravel road, tires spitting rocks, headlights bouncing off overgrown weeds. It felt like the road was longer now, like it didn't want to end. The hum, I could still hear it, I swear I could, even with the engine roaring. Finally, after what felt like an hour, my phone buzzed. Service. The GPS flickered back to life. I hit home. It rerouted me automatically. The screen showed my position, a single blue dot, and then right below it, in faint gray letters, Weyburn Mental Hospital. Permanently closed. No roads around it, no marked entrance, nothing but blank prairie. When I got home, I looked it up. The old Weyburn Mental Hospital was demolished years ago, bulldozed. They built the Tommy Douglas Center on part of the land, but the main complex? Gone. No ruins, no brick building, nothing left standing. But what I saw, what I filmed, was unmistakable. And when I went to pull the footage off my camera, the SD card was corrupted, totally unreadable. Just one thumbnail survived, a still frame of a hallway, and at the far end, standing in the doorway, a faint outline of someone in a white coat. So yeah, that's why I don't explore in Saskatchewan anymore. If you ever find yourself driving down a gravel road outside Weyburn and you see an old iron gate, just keep going. Don't stop. Because that place may have been closed 30 years ago, but some doors never really shut.